We are live.
Yes, indeed.
It's been like way too long. I've
It
actually had a couple
has.
people say, "When are you gonna record again?" And it's just been it's been crazy but productive and successful so far. So, what's going
Well,
on?
for me, it's one of the best conversations of the week. So I really do appreciate seeing you again. And look at you. You're just vibrant. You're just shining.
Yeah, I'm wearing orange today.
Yeah.
Tis the season. Tis the season.
Yep.
So, so I recently just got back from ASU, and I actually wasn't working with athletics. I was working with bridging the gap between Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z, and innovation and growth and progression. It was actually pretty cool. And met a lot of amazing people. And I stumbled upon a wonderful conversation at a happy hour. And I thought, what an opportunity to share some time with you on your perspective of different distinctions, the concept of transformation, that fancy word that people think
Hmm.
they throw out there, but they literally don't even know what it means.
Hmm.
And really around breakthrough, because I think it's such a loose, gray, ambiguous term these days. And it doesn't have to be. But I had such a great dialogue, and I thought, hey, why don't we start on talking about how like transformation does not equal change, and it's so much bigger than that to start. But are you cool with that? Are you on board?
Sure, sure. I love that. I love getting at that subject and kind of digging down into it because it is so misused and misunderstood. And it has been cheapened. It's kind of like the word love has been cheapened.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of words that are in the vocabulary in our culture. And one of the major ones, particularly in the world of business
Mm-hmm.
and in the world of organizations and in the world of relationships, is transformation. And it behooves us to actually look at it for something other than it's not more, better, different, or the same old thing.
Yep.
So transformation. So transformation is something that kind of calls into place another word that is massively misunderstood because it's used synonymous to change, just like transformation, which is breakthrough. Like, what is a breakthrough? And so we need to actually take a look at the nature of breakdowns, and we need to, and in order to look at the nature of breakdowns, you have to look at the nature of upsets.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, if we go back to the cause of something, it's, am I going to tolerate this upset? So what is it? What is it? So toleration is like, what I'm about. Am I? And when I say, am I going to tolerate this upset? That means, am I committed to a breakthrough? So you can say on one side, tolerating an upset, and on the other side, committed to a breakthrough. So we can kind of give it a sort of an alignment and a direction here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a little look, a very quick kind of overall look. So first of all, human beings are upset at all times. Sometimes the upset is apparent. You're wearing it on your face and you're wearing it in your way of interacting with people. And sometimes you're smoothing it over with your personality and your ego. So you're like, no, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I've got it. No, no, you're upset. A way of saying that and a way of understanding it is you are either upset, like you're upset, or you're an upset about to happen. So an upset about to happen, a lot of people do that, particularly when they first meet. We're on our best behavior. I'm going to cover over anything unpleasant. But the fact of the matter is, I'm sitting here wide open, ready to be triggered into an upset. And upsets are triggered in three ways: one of three ways, two of three ways, sometimes all three of three ways. And so the first one is you have an unfulfilled expectation. Like when I meet you, I have an expectation about it and it's not fulfilled. I am now upset. Now, I might cover it over a little bit, but I am upset. I also had an agenda with you, so we have a thwarted intention. That's a word that people don't really understand, the word thwarted, THWARTED. So thwarted intention, which means it's kind of blocked off. So I have an unfulfilled expectation and a thwarted intention.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the killer, because this is the key to everything. I have an undelivered communication.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay for me to say what there is for me to say, and so that I can actually acknowledge the thwarted intention and the unfulfilled expectation. So I've got now 1, 2, 3, all three going on,
Mm-hmm.
all three going on at the same time. And you go from upset about to happen to upset.
So can I pause
Okay.
for a second on this?
Yeah, sure.
I love this. And I'll tell you how I internalize and word it, right? And I'd love for you to correct me if I'm not getting it right. But you're upset about to happen. I love that. I've never used it in that way, but it's extremely true. For me, the way I've always internalized it is your reality is about to catch up. It's the
Yeah, well, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah,
right.
your reality. Yeah, well, it is. It's a relationship to what's so reality.
Right. Reality's going to catch up. Like you're upset about to happen, right? That, you can fake it for as long as you possibly can, but boy, it's going to come up, like the truth
Yes.
always kind of comes up. And then the other one was around undelivered communication. So I have had some great thoughtful debate about communication. And I've been internalizing this a lot because communication for me, that is a misused word. And I
Yes.
actually don't believe that communication is the root of the best relationships and interactions. I actually believe comprehension is, because we can talk, but if you are not internalizing and understanding and comprehending that intention, you're not comprehending the expectation that I may be communicating, right? My boundaries or whatever, then it's deaf ears. So for me, we talk about communication, but for me, I've been valuing more on the comprehension and qualifying and asking questions to go one step above. Oh, well, I've communicated it. Well, that didn't mean it was received, right? And
No.
because it wasn't received, that reality is going to catch up because I'm still where I started,
Yeah, that's very, very, very good. Part of the mythology of communication is that we think that the model is talk, listen, talk, listen, and that it goes like a ping pong match going back and forth. That's not the way it works at all. Communication is a process that begins with listening and ends with speaking. So in beginning with listening and ending with speaking, I am listening for. I'm not necessarily listening to, I'm listening for something through your words, something that is deeper. So that tells you that on the speaking side of it, so first of all, I'm listening before I'm speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the second case, in the world of speaking, it's not what you get out, it's what you get in.
Mm-hmm.
So I now really need to be over there with you when I'm speaking to make sure that it's getting in with you. Because it's not what I get out, it's what I get in. If I'm talking mathematics to a 7-year-old, I would not be talking trigonometry, even though the 7-year-old is very bright. I'll be talking addition and subtraction, maybe getting up to multiplication if they're very, very bright and we've taken them along. It's not what I get out, it's what I get in. So I can speak trigonometry, but if I do, I'm a fool because I should be talking adding and subtracting. So what you get out. And then the third thing about it is that you're accountable and you're responsible in your communication. And people are seldom responsible in their communication. So the question is, what are you responsible for in your communication? And the short answer is what people are left with after you're gone. So when I'm communicating with you, I can do all kinds of things with you when we're together. I can take it apart, put it together. I can take you apart, put you together. But I'm responsible for how you're left after I'm gone. Are you a smoking pile of debris? Or are you somebody who's enhanced and enlightened and empowered?
Yeah,
So
I like that. The other way I say that, and I said this at ASU, I said, I listen to hear, I do not listen to speak.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You
I had to
really,
practice
yeah,
that.
you really
That was
want to
not
hear
natural
what
for me.
they're having to. Yeah, because your response is going to be something that is hopefully correlate. That's not the way most people listen. Most people listen for the comma so they can get their thought in.
Mhm.
They very seldom listen for something that is about enhancing and empowering.
Yeah.
So there's that. So we have the breakdown, and the breakdown is always, and the rule in transformation is that breakdowns are what precedes the breakthrough. In other words, no breakdown, then there's no reason to have a breakthrough. We'll just do more of the same, maybe a little better, maybe a little different. And that's the way that governments, that's the way organizations, that's the way companies, that's the way people, that's the way tribes actually try to live their life, protecting themselves from the breakdown, but claiming that they've had a transformation when in fact all they did was an enhancement of what was already there. What we say, more, better, different, or the same. So now we have a breakdown. The breakdown now provides the clearing by noticing what's not working, and particularly noticing what's not working in my behaviors, in my vocabulary, in my listening, in my relationship, and that's the key word, in my relationship to you. By noticing what's not working and giving that up, I can now actually declare myself to be another way. Oh, I'm actually going to listen to what she has to say. And I'm actually going to interact with that in an authentic way. That would be taking it to another level. And when it goes to another level, when it goes from the position of either being the victim of the circumstance, which, by the way, is betrayed or betrayed about to happen, that's stage 2, or the stage 3 stage of domination. I'm great, you're not. I have the stats to prove it. I'm here, and my entire interest is in dominating you and being better than you, turning you into some sort of minion. Instead, what I want to do is I actually want to be in a co-equal, collaborative kind of relationship and partnership with you that is stable. And in order to do that, the shift is in my listening and in giving up what I'm really committed to, which is what I'm committed to is I'm special and you're not.
Yeah, it's even beyond reframing. It's essentially unlearning and rewiring.
Yeah, that's the surrender part, is giving up the old way of thinking, because you've been trained, particularly in I used to say in the American culture, but since I teach all over the world, I notice that it's the same in Russia, it's the same in Central Asia, it's the same in China. There is always this thing that's going on with humans, which is stage 2, stage 3, which is I'm great, you're not, interacting with, and if not finding, creating people around you who my life sucks, so that it's an ability to dominate them. But giving up the domination, like surrendering literally in a different way. Because when you're at stage 3 and you hear the word surrender, it sounds like weakness. But when you understand it from stage 4, what it means is surrendering into a greater distinction. So surrendering into your God-given greatness and surrendering into the power and the opportunity and the possibility that is granted by my relationship with you.
Yeah, and
If
I
I
think
surrender into that.
Yeah, let me jump in here, because I think as we talk about the breakdown before the breakthrough, as we talk about, as you say, giving up the domination, noticing what's not working, listening, and in my relationship, and not just letting go, but truly honoring the break, right?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
what's interesting about that is I've had to practice quite a bit, and I tell you, I failed miserably many a times on it. But the one thing that's always been in me because of who I am and what I stand for and why, I am able to swiftly move and disconnect the emotional tie to certain things because of my ability to um break away. Like I am able to separate getting so tied to something and so married to something because I see the bigger purpose. I see it being so much bigger than me because I don't want to live in the I am great, you are not lens. I truly do what is best for the team. I truly want to do what's best for the culture, right? And I never knew
Yes.
that going in, but I always felt like I was able to cut and keep moving, and most people would just perceive it as sometimes cold, but yet I was fine. And or if someone cut something on me, I was still fine because for me, I was thinking the visionary kind of longer term horizon with certain gate points that guess what? Go, no go. Fine, boom, unlearn. Now we go to another level of this. You know, it's interesting because I never thought about it, but a lot of people would always say that. How do you move on so quick? Or how
Yeah,
do you
well,
be
you
so
see,
kind?
when you can actually, as you said, separate yourself that way, it's an organic thing that you do. So one of the things and I call that the surrender. That's the surrendering into the greater idea.
Yeah.
And it's the greater idea of your expression in life, what we call your noble cause. So when you surrender into the possibility of your noble cause being manifest in the world,
Mm-hmm.
then you're able to give up. You're actually able to entertain something that most people can't, which is most people are walking around with a point of view that I am my emotional state. You know, like if you hold your hand in front of you, like just hold your hand in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you look at it and you say, I have a hand.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I have a hand.
I have a hand.
Okay. Okay. That's not weird at all.
Mm-hmm.
Now say, I am my hand.
I am my hand. A little weird.
Can you hear how weird that is?
A little weird. Yep.
Yeah. Now turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
Now turn your hand over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now you say, I am angry.
I am angry.
Yeah, it doesn't sound weird at all. But I'll tell you, it doesn't work because the truth is you have anger. You either have the emotion or the emotion has you. So if I am angry, I am in love, I am all of those things, rather than I have that emotion, then you don't have an access to breakthrough.
Hmm.
Breakthrough is actually understanding I have anger, and in the face of my anger, in the face of my fear, in the face of my feeling of incompetence or not worthy, in the face of that, I am committed to my noble cause. I'm committed to that idea that is greater than I perceive myself to be. But most people are, I am my emotions, but that's me. And you're going, can't work with you.
Yeah, and
Can't
I've
work with
struggled. I have struggled with that throughout my whole entire life. This is personal and professional, right? Because
Sure.
I've always been so keenly aware of my noble cause. Now it may have morphed, right? I may have felt it and not been able to say it, right? But I've always known. It's always been me. It's who I am. It's my birth, like it's just who I'm part of, my contribution in society. I've just always felt that since I was like little, right? So when I would
Yes.
navigate life, it was hard. Everyone thought I was an extrovert, but it was really hard to relate because I didn't feel that I could have the level of back and forth value exchange because I felt like my mentality was very different. And it wasn't just the athlete mentality. That's one component of it, no doubt. But
Yeah, well, that's just an expression of it. That's
that's
just, but you
exactly
know,
it.
the thing about it is when you get to the point where you get, my commitment is this contribution to society, to my tribe, to my community,
Mm-hmm.
and however that's expressed in the face of my fear. So I now have my fear, I have my anger, I have my upset. And in the face of that, I'm operating out of my noble cause. Most people don't get to that. That's what transformation is. Transformation is not a world that is all rainbows and unicorns. That's not it. It isn't all of a sudden there's banjos and violins and beautiful music. That's not it. It is living and expressing yourself as the declaration that you are, which is noble and greater than you are, in the face of all that human stuff that you've got going on, including your thoughts, your opinions, your assessments, your point of view, your emotions. So to be able to do that, and the overall wraparound term for that is you have learned how to manage your mind. Transformation
I like that.
is expressed. Yeah, transformation is an absolute expression of a person who has a skill set in managing their mind in the face of their fear, in the face of their upset, because we're an upset waiting to happen. And it's always triggered by something should be or shouldn't be, and that should be or shouldn't be is always an unfulfilled expectation, a thwarted intention, and undelivered communication. So in the face of all of that, I've managed my mind to the point that I can actually express, I can actually do the stuff that is about the noble cause, the greater idea. That is the possibility of human being, and that is what constitutes a transformation.
Bingo. And I kind of want to end there because I think we can take different pieces of this and really break it down even further. And
listen, every one of every part of these distinctions is a several-hour conversation.
No doubt. And I also, and I know we kind of talked before we pushed the record button slightly about the concept of the human being and the different styles of human being, right? Like the beta, the alpha, and you were talking about sigma. And I'd love to break that down further on as you evolve transformation, as you're thinking about you're an upset waiting to happen, as you're thinking about how it applies personal, professional. It's not siloed, it's life. It's part of all of the different experiences and emotions that you may have. But partnership on an empowered level. You said that to me and it really resonated really, really well because in order to hit transformation, in order to unlearn, in order to break down before breakthrough, you truly need to get yourself to the ability to think beyond, understand that you have to have power of mind, and really understand that it's a partnership and it's all about, it's rooted in your noble cause, because it all kind of comes back no matter how you slice and dice this. Your relationships, learning how to manage your mind in the face of fear or upset or an upset waiting to happen. That's life. That's absolute life. And I just think there's such an opportunity.
That's life at the level of, that's the life that you inherit. It's called a throne life. It's like if you took dice and you just threw them and what comes up, comes up.
Yeah.
That's a throne life. A throne life is to live your life at the level of stage 2 or stage 3, which is be a victim, or to be I'm great, you're not, and be operating that way. But inside of an individual, it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about me. The actual breakthrough is when you get that life is not a zero-sum game, but it's a non-zero and hopefully positive outcome game that you design. So you're living either a thrown life or you're living a designed life. And the designed life is where you go beyond, for example, being an alpha or beta, and you move up to the realm of being a sigma.
Yeah.
Something that is actually senior to.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that next week because I think there is so much curiosity around that.
It's a rich
Selfishly
one.
for
It's a
myself,
rich one.
but I have been having many conversations with a lot of people on beta and alpha and the need for alpha, but what's forcing the beta, and it's just there's so many ways we can go with it. So I'd love to hit
Oh,
that.
it's a trap, trap,
Yeah,
trap, 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 trap.
yeah.
Everywhere,
So
it is the trap of our culture. It's a cultural trap that you're in, but it's not only your cultural, it's pan-cultural. So it's the same thing that's going on. You put an American and a Russia together and watch how they start to juggle who's the stage 3 and who's the stage 2 here. And
yeah, we'll
you'd
talk
actually
about it
see
next
it in
week. Yeah,
action.
so we gotta end today, but I wanna have not only the breakdown, but potential simulations that you've seen actually practicing exactly what you said. Like that would be just so fun to just kind of throw at each other and really help others
Yep.
see different levels of engagement in life, and how people are
Yep.
showing up and participating. So as
Yep.
ever, super excited, and we're gonna definitely hit transformation even more, and maybe we even do like a little case study. I think it would be kind of cool to
Let
have
me
a
tell
concept.
transformation is one of the only subjects worth talking about,
I
frankly.
love it. I love it. So I'm excited. We're back in action, Thoughtful Thursdays, even though it's Friday.
Yay,
I'm cool with it.
yay.
But more to come. Thank you, John. You're always such a joy. Like you are a highlight to my day. You make my life better. You add so much value, and I'm grateful.
Well, it's my honor and it's my privilege and it's my pleasure, and I love our partnership. Thank you.
Okay. All righty, my friends. Speak next week.